Hey YouTube. So, market recap. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As we were going into classic unemployment in typical 8:30 fashion, I did notice kind of the LR style, at least for liquidity that we had based on just this move here. So I was looking for, especially after the pop itself, really just to go short afterwards. Ended up doing that. As for ES, basically I wanted just to do the old shuffle. Run the low, run the high, come back down to here. So really, literally a shuffle that people know that comes from. But so cool shuffle there. Again, to continue the higher time frame bias that we had since CPI Tuesday. And one thing to point out that we really been doing is reacting off of the PD arrays and then switching back to a PD array that is shifting us back bullish, and then continue onwards. All right, so reacting off this, trading downwards. We're trading downwards until we're hitting something to change us bullish. Reacting, back to bullish, reacting, back to bullish, reacting, more than likely back to bullish. As for tomorrow, looking for some kind of inversion here, likely to unwind the people that did short this before, get out, break even, the ones that know, and then likely to continue over the high. Even if it doesn't want to do it, we have a holiday coming Monday, so I'm very reluctant to look for some super it's either gonna be a super aggressive type move or just might kind of want to relax and leave that there as liquidity like previous week's high. So could be either one in all honesty, but really a move from 520 is what we're looking for. Nasdaq, same idea, hitting bearish, the switch back bullish, coming down to the last down close candles. On the 15-minute, we pretty much had our low a day called out. We were looking for, again, this fair value gap just in the recap yesterday, so it is there for anyone that wants to see it. Notice the body supporting it, even though it does wick deep into it, that is totally fine. No proper body closure or anything like that. And again, same idea as well. Turtle swooping the high, so when it pops at 8:30, you can look to run it back downwards underneath that sell side, going for the PD arrays that we had prior to the candle opening, everything like that. Market sets in a classic low. Everyone thinks low is in. Those longs are now flushed out. That is what's allowing the market to move. You end up getting a breaker coming back through this large up close candle here. You get all that for your actual bullish support coming out of here. Low, high, lower low, break. Trades back into it where downside was needed, and then continue downwards, and then admittedly same thing as yesterday, just an internal run into an FVG to allow it to continue. Especially on ES, I did want to point that out. When you're looking for retracements and delivery ideas, when you have, for example, this break here, and you're looking for the retracement, you do have an FVG for 2022 as well as a VIB, it's a CFD. Notice that you have sell side delivery down to the highest point of sell side delivery prior. Looks a little bit cleaner on ES, but it's the exact same thing. And that's what you're looking for in terms of how far of a retracement can you really get, because you shouldn't need to come back underneath the efficient range. You should retrace up, in this case down, to the highest in efficiency. The price can continue. Same thing here. When you have the retracement back here, there's no need for it to need to come back through here. All this range is balanced. It's been traded through 3 times. This is pretty much a breakaway. Or at least, very least, all this lower half of it is very minimal. When it's trading through that, you're not looking for a retracement back into there. You're looking for something higher up, whether it's going to be this FVG or anything like that to continue. So, oil, I didn't watch it, just kind of getting yeeted by it. So, but just for the recap, swings down. Let retail take the lows in. Retail then gets flushed out. I want to point out the idea of this stop out here and then the pop up and then the crushing. The reason this is so important is when this low is taken and swept, it is triggering all the people that had their stops from here to here out from this time horizon. Only afterwards this low gets stopped out does a new set of people come in with their stop loss underneath here. That low is then getting crushed out, and then that's allowing them to go. So it's generating a fresh pool underneath an old one, for the new to eventually become old and then flush that out as well. So Because a lot of people, when they see, oh, they see a stop out, they think, okay, now I can get in. So they know that because people see a stop out and will hop in, they essentially make a fake low or a fake stopped out low. Those people now rush in thinking, okay, the market's now safe because the low has been swept. It's now a stop hunt, I can get in. Those new people that just got in are getting crushed and pushed out on that next down move. And it closes violently down. So same thing, thick volume candle. Really, if you want to, 3 candle model it. Take everything below that offer. And go from there. So UVXY, same thing, still rolling over as to what we were looking for. As for intraday though, it was very, very hard to take any kind of long based on this. Besides even this break here. 10 to 11 just completely pushed up, and especially if you look at the index, it didn't settle low until 11:10. So when UVXY's high day came in, that's what you're really looking for, and even then, noon swiped it as well. So you do want to be watching this stock especially, or just VIX in general, for it to be inversing the market. Likely, even if they're rising at the same time, so one of them is usually going to cave first. More often than not, it's going to be the index just going on a FOMO chase, just a trap and immediately punish, something like this here. But the same idea you'd see on the actual index itself. So Dow, complete moon, finishes a sell model right before 9:30 open, hits the turtle, no reason. If you see any type of large bullish turtle like that, do not try to short it. Look for the retracement, look for anything. Again, the market's going to trade back to where it needs to. If all of this is already balanced, there's no need for it to come back down to here. And even technically the fractal down to up move on this here really balances all of this underneath. So no need to come back down to it. That was really the execution mistake I had. I was short off the news, but I didn't close it. What ended up stopping me out for a loss, but switching long afterwards ended up being for the sauce for it. But it's definitely one of those things where if you're looking for that type of idea, have your TPs there, have your partials. Again, just hitting 15-minute BISI, internal, gone. No need to come back to any of this. So, yeah, as for tomorrow, just want to see if maybe 1520 can do something for SPX. Or if they even want to, again, leave Monday's high, that's totally acceptable when they set Monday high of the week. Because likely this will need to get reacted off of. I just don't know how, and it depends on the time of day it's hit. If we get some type of move into PCE or even London to look to move downwards off of that and then just trade sideways going into holiday for PM session, then that's it. So this would be like my typical idea for probably the movement going out, or even again something like that downwards movement, go London, New York, OTE, and then attack the highs. But likely those would really be the only two things I would look for. So that's kind of my layout going into tomorrow, if you will. But it'd be the same thing on NASDAQ. Likely to have to react off like the 1 hour breaker. My friend pointed out it would be a pretty, it's not that it's too far away, but again, because of the time and how fast this delivery was, it should be a time distorted moving back up, i.e. AM dumps, PM reversals, that type of stuff like we had today. You know, secondary macro 11 AM reversal. Same thing yesterday, 11 AM reversal type of stuff. So looking for those later movements in price if we're going to set some type of move off PC like that. But it depends how the data comes in. As for Dixie, for what it's doing currently, it may just want to roll just because of the whole 3 candle model premise. Turtle soup up there, the lows all the way down here. But again, this would have me inclined to think that even though we are going to react off of this movement here, could just be to switch back bullish and continue, especially as we're going into March next week and everything like that. If the objective of Dixie is still higher, going to wherever it needs to go, there's no real need to come back down through this delivery and even back on an CPI. It can totally do rejection block ideas or anything like that just to fill this fib, but other than that, it shouldn't need anything like deeper, and that would likely be a quarterly shift or anything like that, or whatever movement is trying to fix, especially if we're looking for and just lining up for March seasonality in general. Very likely to be either some kind of sideways or downwards movement, and then start trading back through, at least for March. fill in the rest of this void and just play the Season of Penance, in all honesty. So, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed your trading today. Did well. If not, be sure to journal it and work on it. It's the only thing you can ask yourself to do. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one, and have a great one.